Right now on Morning News Now, another day, another devastating storm ripping through parts of the U.S. Developing this morning, several states across the Midwest and South left to pick up the pieces after severe weather left entire neighborhoods leveled. Now we're tracking more weather that could affect your Memorial Day weekend. We've got team coverage. Also this morning, party under pressure. President Trump urging Republicans on Capitol Hill to pass his multi-trillion-dollar spending bill.
There's some people that want a couple of things that maybe I don't like or that they're not going to get. We're going to have a bill, the one big beautiful bill. I think it's going to be, it's the biggest bill ever passed, and we got to get it done.
Plus, the president unveiling plans for a new missile defense system. We've got the latest there. Meanwhile, new questions about the health of former President Biden after his team says he had not been screened for prostate cancer in more than a decade. And throwing shade, a new report shedding light on sunscreen safety, saying only a quarter of products are actually protective. What doctors want you to know. Good morning. Thanks for being here. I'm Stephen Romo in for Joe and Savannah today. And we begin this hour with people dealing with the aftermath of another day of severe storms that have been sweeping across the country for almost a week now. Tuesday's powerful system spawning tornadoes throughout the South, like this one in Huntsville, Alabama, that touched down last night. Or in Jackson, Tennessee, where a twister hit a warehouse, sending debris flying into the air. The director of Madison County Emergency Management said the building was evacuated and none of the employees were injured there. Wow. Well, meanwhile, people in Kentucky are continuing to rebuild, even as the possibility of more severe weather is in the forecast for them this weekend. Meteorologist Angie Lassman is standing by with the latest forecast. But first, NBC News correspondent Kathy Park has the latest from London, Kentucky.
Stephen, good morning to you. Yeah, it certainly was another anxious night for millions in the path for more severe weather across the Midwest and South, including Alabama, where this morning we're getting reports of tornadoes and damaging winds, knocking down trees and power lines. And here in London, Kentucky, many residents in the disaster zones had to evacuate because of fears of another natural disaster striking this area. Governor Beshear urged people to get out while they could ahead of these storms because he was concerned these massive debris piles could turn into projectiles. The National Weather Service now confirming that this was an EF4 tornado with wind speeds of more than 170 miles per hour. So when you can look around here, you can see that the landscape has pretty much changed overnight. We should also point out that this is a third major natural disaster to hit the state of Kentucky this year. Stephen?
All right, Kathy Park reporting for us there. And the threat of severe weather seems to have slowed down, but let's turn to NBC meteorologist Angie Lassman for the latest on this. Definitely looks like a May forecast, Angie.
A May forecast indeed, Stephen. And the good news is, as you mentioned, some of that severe weather not going to be quite as impactful today when we're specifically talking about the tornadoes, the hail, the wind threats. Those are going to be lower and for a smaller group of people, but we still do have the potential to see a whole lot of rain leading to potentially some flooding down the line and going into a holiday weekend. So here's what we've got right now. Your satellite and radar showing all of this rain stretched essentially from parts of the Midwest across the Great Lakes into the Northeast and down through the Mid-Atlantic. Those are the spots we're specifically going to be watching for, not just today, but over the next couple of days to receive plenty of rain. The first thing I want you to note, here's the severe threat. We've got just a sliver of parts of the plains and parts of the Carolinas included in that. And we're mainly looking for potentially some large hail, maybe some wind gusts, 1 or 2 tornadoes. Not quite as the ingredients aren't quite there for what we've been seeing over the past couple of days with this storm system. What we are going to see, though, is this next low pressure system kind of develop off the mid-Atlantic coast and stay there. We've got a late season nor'easter that's going to develop, and that means that heavy rain is in the picture from the Great Lakes to the Northeast. We'll see wind accompany that as well as some chilly conditions. So a bit of a different kind of forecast for folks across this region than what they've been dealing with for the past few days. Tomorrow, we're still wet across many of these places, specifically New Jersey to Maine. We'll still see some of that heavy rain as we get into your day tomorrow. And then by Friday, low still sitting offshore, still twirling in some of that rain. And this means that the wind, the snow, and those higher elevations also going to be on the table across that region too. So when it comes to the biggest threat we're looking for, it's going to be that flash flooding. And you can see today it is centered around Pittsburgh. Altoona includes a good chunk of Pennsylvania. But over basically the next couple of days, we're going to see kind of repeated rounds of this rain. So no surprise that we've already got some of these flood alerts up. They're few and far between, but they do include Pittsburgh, Morgantown, town and just north of Charlottesville. I wouldn't be surprised if we add some of those on here as the next couple of days go on. Here's what we're looking at: 2 to 3 inches in those higher amounts, but widespread anywhere from 1 to 2 inches across parts of the Northeast. It's going to be a soggy one. Want to have that umbrella handy. One note, though, the umbrella may go flying if you're closer to the coast. We've got 30 and 40 mile per hour winds for a lot of folks, especially, again, the closer you go to the Atlantic, and close to 50 miles per hour. Check out Nantucket. That's a peak wind gust that we could see for tomorrow as this low sits just offshore, Stephen. So this will be something that we'll still see kind of be impacting folks across New England as we get into Friday and head into this upcoming holiday weekend. It'll be chilly across that region, but then we'll turn our attention to more showers and storms for parts of the Midwest, the Ohio and Tennessee Valley on Sunday.
All right, a holiday weekend, but storms, it's May. What can you do?
Typical. Exactly.
Typical. All right, Angie, thank you.
Of course.
All right, to Washington now, where House Republicans are racing to push through President Trump's so-called big, beautiful bill ahead of a self-imposed Memorial Day deadline. With his agenda on the line, the president visited Capitol Hill yesterday to try to persuade a key group of GOP lawmakers to get on board and support the multi-trillion-dollar package. It includes tax breaks, some spending cuts, along with more border security and military spending. Mr. Trump says Republicans are unified on budget reconciliation, but NBC News understands the president had some tough words for some members of his own party. NBC News senior White House correspondent Gabe Gutierrez joins us now with more on this. So, Gabe, about Trump's meeting with House GOP, how confident is he that he can get this through, and do we think he changed any minds?
Hi there, Stephen. Good morning. Well, President Trump, at least publicly, says he is very confident. He says the party is unified. But the reality is, at this point, it's a little bit more nuanced than that. Some Republicans feel that the spending cuts here do not go far enough, and they're still not on board. Now, Stephen, as we speak, a final hearing in the Rules Committee is still underway on Capitol Hill right now. It's been going on since 1 a.m., in the middle of the night, basically, and there is still a lot of debate among Republicans about some of these cuts and whether the 2017 tax cuts from President Trump should be extended. How do you pay for them? That this bill could add almost $4 trillion to the deficit. Still, though, yesterday on Capitol Hill, President Trump tried to project confidence along with Speaker Mike Johnson. Listen.
I think we have unbelievable unity. I think we're going to get everything we want. And that was a meeting of love. Let me tell you, that was love in that room. There was no shouting. I think it was a meeting of love. And I'm not losing patience. We're ahead of schedule. Anybody that told you that is a liar.
Still, sources within that Republican conference meeting did tell NBC News that the president did say he was losing patience with some Republican holdouts. And publicly, he has said that there are some grandstanders within the Republican Party, but he does expect them to eventually get on board. The clock is ticking, though. Speaker Mike Johnson has said he wants this passed by Memorial Day. A final vote in the House could come as early as today. But again, that final hearing is still underway as we speak.
Yeah, time's ticking down. We're going to have more on that hearing, too, in just a bit, Gabe. I'm sure the caffeine is flowing there. Gabe, wanted to get the latest on the immigration front now. We saw a judge yesterday order the Trump administration to, quote, maintain custody of migrants that were sent to war-torn South Sudan, which is not where they're from. We saw the similar attempt earlier this month from the administration to send migrants to Libya instead of their home countries, a federal judge issuing an order to stop that, too. What's the latest there?
Yeah, that's right. This is all unfolding as President Trump's mass deportation plan continues to get underway. But yes, these migrants from 2 Asian countries were supposedly deported to war-torn South Sudan, according to those attorney. And yes, there was an emergency hearing yesterday where a judge said that the administration needed to maintain custody of those migrants as this went through the legal system. But still a lot of controversy over this as the Trump administration tries to deport migrants to different countries. And as you mentioned, Stephen, they already tried to do this to the country of Libya just a short time ago, and it's now being held up in the courts. President Trump has railed against the court system for trying to stop his immigration promises, Stephen.
Yeah, a lot more to come there. And, Gabe, we also saw the president yesterday unveil plans for his Golden Dome missile defense program. What should we know about that one?
Yeah, that's right. And this is modeled after Israel's Iron Dome. President Trump has long said that he wanted such a system for the United States as well. This could take several years to complete. The president estimated 3 years, and it could cost around $175 billion, according to the president's estimate. Construction, though, he says, will move forward, and he has tapped a leader of a U.S. Space Force program in order to lead it up. He made the announcement yesterday in the Oval Office, Stephen.
All right, Gabe, thanks so much. Well, more now on President Trump's massive reconciliation bill. Overnight, the House Rules Committee kicked off that rare early morning session to begin consideration of the package, and they are still going right now, as Gabe was just telling us. This is a crucial step, though, where lawmakers can set the terms for debate and make amendments to the bill before sending it to the House floor. Republican Speaker Mike Johnson has been pushing for a full vote on the bill by tomorrow. In opening statements today, ranking committee members from both sides of the aisle commented on the unusual dead-of-night timing of this meeting, with Republicans accusing Democrats of doing the exact same thing in the past.
They can't have their cake and eat it, too. They cannot complain about reporting legislation in the dark of night when the only reason it went so late was because of their own actions. The Rules Committee has a long tradition of meeting late into the evening and reporting legislation long after most of America has gone to bed.
Before we get into the substance here, I've got a simple question. What the hell are Republicans so afraid of? What the hell are you so scared of that you guys are holding this hearing at 1 o'clock in the morning?
Well, NBC News Capitol Hill correspondent Julie Sirkin joins us now with more on this one. Julie, some fiscal conservatives have been pushing for deeper cuts to social aid programs like Medicaid to offset some of Trump's spending bill. What would that effect have on the national debt? We're also seeing these moderate Republicans concerned that it could come back to bite them. What's happening in that session?
Yeah, totally, especially when it comes to Medicaid and those clean energy tax provisions that were signed into law under then-President Obama as part of the Inflation Reduction Act. These are two key areas that moderates in the House and Senate, by the way, which would have to pass this bill if and when it gets out of the House, have real issues with, especially on Medicaid, because what the House Republicans are doing now to try and get around all of the spending that they are raising with extending those tax cuts, making them permanent, of course, no tax on tips and other provisions as well. Instead of that, they are, of course, making reforms to Medicaid. That includes potentially changing the structure by which the federal government helps states pay for the expanded version of Medicaid. When it comes to the clean energy tax credits, for example, they want to speed up the way in which those will be phased out or repealed. Many projects have already started in key states, including in swing key battleground districts, Stephen.
I know one of the sticking points preventing this bill from going forward, Julie, has been the debate over raising the cap on state and local tax deduction, also known as SALT. I understand there was some progress from House Republicans overnight. How close are they to a deal?
There was, and apologies, I'm keeping my eye out in case Speaker Johnson walks by me or any of these holdouts, because of course they are on the Hill, given that they are meeting this early and it's such a big day. So when it comes to the state and local tax deduction, remember, this affects blue states, New York, California, Illinois, places with a really high state and local taxes. Citizens there are able to deduct that amount depending on the cap. Of course, because of President Trump's 2017 tax cuts, that cap went into effect for the first time. It was $10,000. Well, the Republicans from those blue states, many can argue those actually made the House Republican majority. They want that cap lifted. The president came to the Hill yesterday. Melanie Zanona and I reported from inside that meeting that Trump told those holdouts, those salters, if you will, to stop being so salty, to end this debate back and forth. He said this would only benefit those blue state governors. The thing is, though, that's not entirely true. So we are told there is basically a deal in principle. We don't know yet if those Republicans accepted the deal, but it would lift that cap from $10,000 to $40,000 for individuals making $500,000 or less a year. Nobody in the Senate side really cares about this, so this is the last best offer that they'll get.
Fascinating. Julie, you're based there. You have these conversations all the time. What does your gut tell you? Does this get voted on before Republicans' own deadline?
Well, Speaker Mike Johnson ambitiously says that he's still planning to put the bill on the floor tonight, ahead of Memorial Day. Of course, he could still do it tomorrow, Friday. He did threaten to keep folks in through the weekend. It really all depends what happens in the Rules Committee meeting, which is happening right now. They have yet to make any of those changes that they negotiated that we talked about to Medicaid, to the clean energy tax credits, to SALT. They have yet to make those permanent in the form of text that will then go into this bill. They are planning to during this meeting that you're seeing there on your screen. But of course, we're in hour 6 of that meeting, and that has still yet to happen. Democrats, by the way, offering hundreds of amendments to try and slow down this process.
Wow. Well, Julie, quickly here, wanted to ask you about the tax on tips, the effort to eliminate that, one of Trump's campaign promises. Yesterday, the Senate passed that with the help from Democrats. So what's next for that bill?
Yeah, this was super interesting. No tax on tips has been a campaign trail promise that President Trump wanted Congress to make good on. We see a trend here when it comes to all those promises. But no tax on tips really affects workers in Nevada. They have a lot, of course, of waiters, people in the service industry that rely on tips. So Jackie Rosen, a Democrat from Nevada, of course, a battleground state. She just won re-election, by the way, so she's not in cycle. She went on the Senate floor to call for unanimous consent, meaning consent of all 100 senators. There was no vote to pass this legislation into law. Republicans allowed it. Senator Ted Cruz, who's also behind this bill, made the point that this is in the House reconciliation package, so likely it'll get tucked in there. Of course, they have to fund this. That raises the cost of the package, therefore limiting how much they can cut the deficit by. And then that's how the Senate would likely pass this bill in order to fund that provision. But certainly Democrats getting some cover on that by joining suit and passing it yesterday in the Senate.
All right. Fascinating stuff indeed. I did not see Mike Johnson walk behind you, in case you were wondering. Julie, I know you'll keep an eye out for him. Thanks so much. Also in Washington, the Justice Department charging a sitting congresswoman from New Jersey with assaulting ICE agents at a protest earlier this month. But Democrats are calling the charges political intimidation. NBC News senior White House correspondent Gabe Gutierrez has those details.
The heated confrontation outside an ICE detention facility in New Jersey this month was captured on body cameras. You can see Democratic Congresswoman LaMonica McIver, there in the red jacket, in a scuffle with ICE agents. The Justice Department has charged her with assault.
She was shoving federal agents. She was out of control. The days of that crap are over in this country. We're going to have law and order.
But the Congresswoman says she did nothing wrong and is accusing federal agents of escalating the situation.
It's political intimidation, and I'm looking forward to my day in court.
According to the criminal complaint, McIver hit officers while trying to stop them from arresting Newark Mayor Ras Baraka for trespassing. Charges against Baraka were dropped. The complaint includes photos of what looks like McIver's forearm making contact with an officer's back.
And you certainly can't put hands on an officer or employee.
The Justice Department did not follow its standard practice of consulting its public integrity section before charging her, according to a source familiar with the matter. Meanwhile, the DOJ is also investigating the city of Chicago's hiring practices after its Democratic mayor touted the number of black city officials he's hired.
When you hire our people, we always look out for everybody else. Chief Operations Officer is a black man. Budget Director is a black woman. Senior advisor is a black man.
The DOJ will now determine if he's discriminating based on race as the Trump administration cracks down on DEI.
This administration has demonstrated a great deal of animus and disdain towards what is sensible about our country, and that's the diversity of our country.
Also, the Homeland Security Secretary incorrectly defining habeas corpus, which allows people to challenge their detention. Administration officials have floated suspending it for undocumented immigrants.
What is habeas corpus?
Well, habeas corpus is a constitutional right that the president has to be able to remove people from this country and suspend their right to.
Let me stop you, ma'am. Habeas corpus, excuse me, that's incorrect.
Our thanks to Gabe for that report. When asked if she supports the core protection that habeas corpus provides Americans, that people can't be detained without valid legal grounds, Secretary Noem said she does. But she also said she recognizes the president has the authority to decide if that right should be suspended or not, even though historically that is a power of Congress. The Department of Homeland Security did not immediately respond to NBC News' request for comment. Well, Elon Musk says he's stepping back from politics and government. The world's richest man, who spent hundreds of millions of dollars to get Trump elected, says he will be spending a lot less going forward. All this comes as the CEO of Tesla also cut back his work in federal government with the Department of Government Efficiency, or DOGE. NBC News senior business correspondent Christine Romans has more.
Elon Musk is steering away from politics and government.
Take over, Elon. Yes, take it.
Signaling his days of handing out big checks on the campaign trail are over.
In terms of political spending, I'm going to do a lot less in the future.
The world's richest man, who recently stepped back from his advisory role in the Trump administration, speaking to CNBC's David Faber at an event promoting Tesla's upcoming robo-taxis, saying he does not regret his work with the Trump administration.
Talking about Tesla, obviously, takes me to a certain extent to what some would say is the brand damage done by your government service. I don't know if you would agree with that.
Has some pros and cons.
There have been some pros and cons.
Musk also defending this gesture he made at Trump's inauguration.
Thank you. How many legacy media publications, talk shows, whatever, try to claim that I was a Nazi because of some random hand gesture at a rally where all I said was that my heart goes out to you, and I was talking about space travel.
Musk taking a chainsaw to federal spending in his unofficial role as head of the Department of Government Efficiency, better known as DOGE.
We've tried to go after every part of the budget.
Those highly litigated reductions sparking protests and boycotts.
We are advisors. We're not kings here.
The backlash even affecting his company's bottom line. Tesla profits plummeting 71% in the first quarter of the year. Musk attributing the sales decline to a recent retooling of Tesla's factories, without going into specifics.
We've seen a major rebound in demand at this point. I mean, when you buy a product, how much do you care about the political views of the CEO? Or do you even know what they are?
Now, with his days of wearing double hats in business and government in the rearview mirror,
He wants to get back home to his cars.
Musk says he's hoping to focus his energies on the core of his businesses.
My rough plan on the White House is to be there for a couple days every few weeks, and to be helpful where I can be helpful.
Christine Romans reporting there. As for what's next for his businesses, Elon Musk is hoping to make another push into self-driving cars, making them fully autonomous. Musk hinted that other major automakers have asked to license Tesla's self-driving tech. He says the next big update of this tech is about a year away, but we should keep in mind that's a promise Musk has been making since 2016. Now to New Orleans, where a jail maintenance worker is now in custody and accused of helping 10 inmates escape early Friday morning. It comes as a fifth inmate was recaptured overnight while police continue their manhunt for the other fugitives. NBC News correspondent Ryan Chandler is in New Orleans with the latest.
Hey guys, good morning. Now 6 days into this manhunt, half of the fugitives have been captured, 5 are still on the run. Overnight, authorities arresting 19-year-old Corey Boyd. He'll now head to a state facility and face second-degree murder charges. The sheriff says they have more than 200 law enforcement personnel on the ground actively searching, and the New Orleans police chief says they believe that the rest of the remaining fugitives are still within the city limits of New Orleans. Meanwhile, the fallout continues inside the sheriff's office. Authorities arresting a jail maintenance worker for allegedly helping the inmates escape. They say that this maintenance worker turned off the water to a cell, allowing the inmates to dig through the piping. And the sheriff herself facing political backlash, announcing yesterday she is suspending her political campaign, saying she needs to focus all of her efforts on fixing this jail instead of politics. Guys.
All right, more to come there, Ryan, thanks. And much more to come here on Morning News Now. Later this hour, beach bums beware. A new report shows only 1 in 4 sunscreens are actually effective. What you need to know to keep your skin protected. But up first, after the break, Israel under pressure as more allies call for an end to its offensive in Gaza. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Israel is facing mounting pressure from international allies this morning over its renewed ground offensive in the Gaza Strip. The British government announced yesterday that it was suspending trade talks with Israel over its, quote, egregious policies in the enclave and the West Bank. The European Union also announced it would review its relationship with the country. These announcements come one day after France and Canada joined Britain in its threat to take action against Israel if their offensive and blockade of humanitarian aid to Gaza continue. A move Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said is, quote, offering a huge prize to Hamas for their October 7th attacks. For more on this, let's bring in NBC News international correspondent Matt Bradley, who is live in Tel Aviv with the latest. Matt, good morning to you. So despite all this pushback from allies and despite Britain suspending these trade talks with Israel, the chief of the Israeli army saying yesterday that they will expand military operations against Hamas in Gaza. What's the latest on the ground?
Yeah, they're going to be expanding their military operations and actually taking and holding all of the Gaza Strip. So what we're seeing from this is this new Gideon's Chariots operation. And the idea there is it's going to be distinct from military operations in the Gaza Strip previously, where the military would take ground, fight in it, and then sort of relinquish it and move on. Now, the modus operandi here is that they will take all of the Gaza Strip and occupy it indefinitely. Now, as you mentioned, Stephen, this is all in parallel to the kind of emerging scandal that we're seeing around aid distribution in the Gaza Strip. It's been a couple of days since the Israelis said that they would be releasing aid into Gaza for the first time in 11 weeks. They said that 93 truckloads of aid had just entered into the Kerem Shalom crossing between Israel and the Gaza Strip. But our sources in Gaza say that no aid has so far entered into the Gaza Strip and has certainly not reached the more than 2 million Palestinians who are in such desperate need of aid there. So the situation there, it's not just about the bombardments, which are increasing and constant and are killing dozens, sometimes hundreds of people every day for the past several weeks. It's also about that lack of aid.
And regarding that aid, Matt, do we know, has Israel said why this delivery was delayed? And do we know what is most needed on the ground in Gaza right now?
It's a really interesting question, Stephen, because so far the Israelis have said that the aid has entered. So there's kind of this dissonance here. We don't know where the aid is. We've seen images of the trucks in the border area, in the sort of no man's land between Israel and the Gaza Strip. We don't know why it hasn't gone all the way in over the border and into Gaza. But one of the things that I suspect is going to be an issue here is that distribution is going to be such a challenge. The Israelis have already said that they're trying to bring in American contractors, maybe by the end of this month, in order to help distribute aid. But the fact is that the Israeli military wants no part of the distribution of aid because for them, that makes them essentially targets while they're trying to distribute aid. So this is a very complicated operation. But, you know, remember, at the same time, this is also controversial here in Israel with the right wing of Benjamin Netanyahu, the prime minister's government. They don't want to see any aid going in. They think that aid will fall into the hands of Hamas, and they believe that suspending aid will help pressure the people of Gaza and Hamas in order to come to some sort of deal to release those remaining hostages and ultimately end the fighting in the Gaza Strip, or for them to surrender their arms. Now, that is a very controversial idea, to put it mildly, and many international aid groups and advocacy organizations have accused Israel of using food as a weapon. And this is what we're seeing now with, the head of the UN humanitarian organization saying that some 14,000 babies could die within the next 48 hours. And by the way, he said this yesterday, unless the humanitarian situation changes. So we're seeing a very bad situation that is getting worse by the moment.
Just startling, troubling numbers there, Matt. Also wanted to ask you about Pope Leo and his statements on this in his first general audience. He spent some time talking about the situation in Gaza. What was his message?
Yeah, Pope Leo, in his first general audience, as you mentioned, in St. Peter's Square, he actually did once again say that he wants to see aid distributed into the Gaza Strip. He was calling on and basically, I mean, he didn't, I don't think, mention them by name, but calling on Israel to allow for this aid to enter. And one of the things he said was that the terrible burden of this war is being carried mostly by children and the elderly. Stephen.
All right. Matt Bradley with the latest there. Matt, thank you. Well, developing this morning, Russian President Vladimir Putin made a surprise visit to the Kursk region for the first time since reclaiming that territory from Ukraine. NBC News reporter Matt Bonner joins us now with that and more international headlines. Good morning, Matt.
Stephen, good morning. Putin's visit comes days after the latest failed effort to sell him on a total ceasefire. And it is his first visit to Kursk since Russia claimed to drive Ukraine out of the region. Meanwhile, faced with continued Russian intransigence on the peace process, the European Union and the United Kingdom have gone ahead and imposed new additional sanctions against Russia without waiting for the United States. The new measures target Russia's so-called shadow fleet of oil tankers that have helped move Russian oil around international sanctions. Meanwhile, Italian Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni said that Pope Leo had confirmed to her that the Vatican is prepared to host the next round of talks. Moving along now to Japan. Japan's agriculture minister was forced to resign today amid the political fallout over a recent comment in which he said he, quote, never had to buy rice because he received it as gifts from supporters. These comments were particularly poorly timed. Japan right now is struggling with record high prices on rice, which is, of course, a staple food in Japan. The government in recent months has been forced to release tons of rice from its emergency stockpile to try to help ease prices. And we'll wrap up this hour in New Zealand. A controversial new dinosaur statue has local residents debating the nature of beauty in art. The sculpture is called Boom Boom, and it's just a 23-foot tall stainless steel sauropod. The artist says that he wasn't surprised by the debate. He actually insisted it's part of the point. Sculptures interrupt our daily interaction with the world, he told BBC, though he says it's hard to hate a sculpture of a dinosaur. He thinks the haters will come around to it. Back to you.
It's hard to hate a sculpture named Boom Boom for me, Matt.
That's true.
Thanks so much. We appreciate it. Well, coming up, new information coming to light on President Biden's prostate cancer diagnosis, why some are questioning the timeline of his past screenings, and what doctors want you to know. And everybody knew his name as Norm, how Hollywood is paying tribute to Cheers star George Wendt. Morning News Now. We'll be right back. Back now with your weekly medical checkup. Today, we're diving into two major developments on brain health. First, trauma centers across the country are rolling out a new, more comprehensive framework for diagnosing traumatic brain injuries. Plus, new research suggests a possible link between microplastics and ultra-processed foods and conditions like depression and dementia. But before we get to that, we want to start with a story making political and medical headlines. Former President Biden and his prostate cancer diagnosis and screening surrounding them. NBC News medical fellow Dr. Akshay Syal joins us now to discuss these health headlines. Dr. Syal, good morning to you. So let's start with the former president and his team confirming this week that he hasn't had a prostate cancer screening since 2014. Given his age, is that unusual? And what should men know about when to get screened?
Hey, good morning, Stephen. So, the short answer is prostate cancer screening over the years has actually become controversial. It used to be something that we did essentially on all men of a certain age and any time they would come to a doctor. But, Stephen, what we've seen over the years is that the thinking has changed towards what we call shared decision-making in medicine. And all that really means is it's more of a personal conversation with your doctor, because if the screening is positive, sometimes it can lead to a lot of tests and procedures that people may not want. And so, the short answer then, Stephen, is it's not unusual. Most societies now recommend to stop prostate cancer screening around age 70. But, Stephen, I'll say I was talking to one of our urologists here at UCLA where I practice, who was saying, anyone over 70, as long as you have a life expectancy greater than 10 years, should consider screening for this. It is still something that can be found in this age group. And, for a president who was hoping really at the time to be a two-term president, you could make an argument that really should have been done.
And this certainly has sparked a lot of conversations, I'm sure, in doctors' offices for men of that age. Dr. Syal, I also wanted to ask you about this new approach to diagnosing traumatic brain injuries. How is it different from the current method, and how could it potentially change the treatment plans?
Right. So, Stephen, for people who don't know, the way we diagnose traumatic brain injury, or TBI, as people commonly refer to it, is something called the Glasgow Coma Scale. It's something that, it's more of a symptom-based approach, and it's really not quite enough. And what we've seen over the years is that, we really need to update this to look at more modern testing and modern things like imaging and blood tests, which you can see on your screen there. Because, Stephen, really the short answer is there's some people with what we call mild TBI who have persistent symptoms for a long time, and there's people with severe TBI who get better. And so we're just wondering, is there a better way that we can classify this? And that's what this guidelines are coming out today from a group of neurosurgeons. And really this is going to be phased out at trauma centers and evaluated further before it's really widely adopted. But, Stephen, the doctor's orders here, for people who don't know, TBI, really it can happen to anyone, right? I see this a lot in my own clinic. I see people who come in, weeks to months after an injury and are still having persistent symptoms, whether that's athletes in head trauma, whether it's people in car accidents, and to know the warning signs, and more so in the sense that this can last for weeks to months to even years in severe cases. So if you're having trouble focusing, trouble, sleeping and fatigue and concentrating, talk to your doctor because there are treatments for it.
All right, Doc, that is some good information there. Finally, I wanted to ask you about this big step forward for women's health. The FDA approved the first at-home HPV test for cervical cancer screenings. So what exactly is this test, and what could it possibly mean for preventative care?
It's a great question, Stephen. Cervical cancer is largely a preventable disease, thanks to both screening and thanks to the HPV vaccine. And, Stephen, for the first time, the FDA has actually approved an at-home cervical cancer test, and it essentially looks for the presence of the HPV virus. I have it right here. It's called the Teal Wand. It's from a company called Teal Health based out of San Francisco. And, Stephen, the way this works is you essentially get paired with a telehealth provider online. They go through your sort of personal history, and then they can mail one of these to your house. You can screen for cervical cancer in the comfort of your own home and get results without ever stepping foot in a doctor's office. So, Stephen, the doctor's orders for everyone here, make sure you are getting screened. If you're a woman at least of the age of 21, you want to talk to your doctor about getting screened. It is very, very much considered a preventable disease, so very, very important. And thank you for covering it, Stephen.
Yeah, another test to make it even easier. Dr. Akshay Syal, thanks so much.
Anytime.
Well, this morning, we're taking a closer look at the effectiveness of sunscreen. A new study from the Environmental Working Group revealed that only about a quarter of sunscreens available from retailers actually helps protect our skin from the harmful rays of the sun. So how do you know if your sunscreen is actually keeping you safe? NBC News medical contributor Dr. Natalie Azar joining us now with more on this. So, Dr. Azar, this is quite alarming to so many people. I know this report analyzed, I think it was 2,200 different sunscreens. What did it end up finding?
Right. And so just to put it into context a little bit, they did analyze over 2,000 different sunscreens and found that a quarter met their standards for safety and efficacy. And I should just mention that this environmental working group has been criticized in the past for maybe some bias in some of their findings, some of their methodology, and for exaggerating some of the risks. So I just want everyone to understand to take all of this stuff with a grain of salt, because that still leaves, from their measure, 500 products that are doing really, really well. And I should just say that according to the FDA and the American Academy of Dermatology, all products that are available here in the U.S. have been FDA approved and are considered safe and effective.
Okay, very important. Good to know about that. As we look at this, though, as we hear this headline that's got a lot of attention, what should we know when we're at the store looking at a label to buy a sunscreen?
So I think one of the biggest distinctions that people should understand is the difference between a mineral-based sunscreen and a chemical-based sunscreen. So a mineral sunscreen is one that is actually what we call a physical barrier. And so let's just take a look at this sunscreen label here. This is one that has been approved by the Environmental Working Group. But they make a comment. On the top, they say that it's hypoallergenic, although there's no legal definition for that. They talk about, we want people to look for something that's broad spectrum. That means it does cover and protect against UVA and UVB. However, really the SPF is actually looking at UVB, not necessarily UVA. 50 or higher, people often wonder, should I go up? Well, it's really the law of diminishing returns. 30 at a minimum is considered sufficient, and that's really what you're looking for in an SPF. When we talk about mineral versus chemical, I think one of the biggest issues that people have is that a chemical sunscreen is something that's going to be absorbed into the skin. A mineral, you can see, is literally a physical barrier. So rather than absorbing, it reflects and it scatters the UV rays. And you're looking for ingredients like zinc oxide, titanium dioxide, as opposed to chemical. It's lighter. There's no white tint, and it is absorbed. And some of the chemicals that have been sort of in the news in terms of potentially causing issues is something called oxybenzone. This is the one that's made most of the news, Stephen. It does absorb into the bloodstream. There is some concern that it potentially could cause something called hormone disruption. There is no evidence that that's true in humans. The studies that were done where there seemed to have that effect was in rats. According to the American Academy of Dermatology, you'd have to use sunscreen every day for 277 years to be exposed to the amount of oxybenzone that was a cause for concern in those particular studies.
That would be hard to do using all that sunscreen. All right, important information. Thanks for breaking that down for us.
You're welcome.
Fraser, we appreciate it. Well, the entertainment world is paying tribute to the actor George Wendt. He's best known as Norm in the hit show Cheers. He died at the age of 76. NBC News correspondent Morgan Chesky takes a look back at his incredible career.
Everybody, hold on! In a place where everybody knew his name, George Wendt made all our troubles feel the same. As the lovable Norm at the Boston bar Cheers, Wendt was never without a beer or a trademark one-liner.
Hey, what's happening, Norm?
It's a dog-eat-dog world, Sammy, and I'm wearing milk-bone underwear.
Wendt nominated for an Emmy for 6 consecutive years over the show's 11-season run.
It's one of the great perks of employment history. I get free beer wherever I go.
Born in Chicago, the beloved everyman found his footing on stage at the famed Second City. But it wasn't until he landed in Cheers in 1982, Wendt became a household name, appearing in everything from movies to Michael Jackson music videos and Saturday Night Live.
The Bears.
The Bears. A family spokesman confirming Wendt passed away peacefully at home. Cheers co-star Ted Danson sharing he's devastated and sending love to Wendt's wife and children.
You know what I think the most important thing in life is? It's love. You want to know what I love?
Beer, Norm?
Yeah, have a quick one.
Fans pouring one out for the one and only. Morgan Chesky, NBC News.
And he'll be missed. Well, coming up, America's educators priced out of the areas where they work.
There's no way I could purchase a home here.
No, I couldn't. No, not with just that salary.
When we come back, we'll take you to Arkansas, where a first-of-its-kind program is working to make housing more affordable for teachers. And buzzing back, you heard that right, billions of cicadas about to re-emerge, and it could be the noisiest bunch of bugs yet. Get those earplugs ready. This is Morning News Now. We're back now with a first-of-its-kind program that's trying to create affordable housing for public school employees in Arkansas. It comes as the median home price in Bentonville, the headquarters of several giant companies, tops $500,000. NBC News correspondent George Solis explains.
Inside Kelsey Lumber's 2-bedroom apartment in Bentonville, Arkansas, space is at a premium for her growing family of 5.
We're kind of on top of each other here sometimes.
Lumber grew up in the area and landed a job as a teacher at Bentonville High School, where she makes $60,000 a year.
There's no way I could purchase a home here.
No, I couldn't. No, not with just that salary. No.
Even with her partner's income, buying just isn't an option in Bentonville. In what was once a modest community, the median home list price is now more than $500,000. Simply put, Bentonville is booming. The area is home to Fortune 500 companies Tyson Foods, J.B. Hunt, and Walmart. So many people are moving to Bentonville. With its popular bike trails and growing art scene, the school district says it's adding about 500 students each year and building new schools to accommodate them. So, Bentonville needs teachers, but many teachers can't afford Bentonville housing.
I learned about 3 years ago that we were going to have a problem.
Debbie Jones, superintendent of schools, says she's already lost potential teachers who feel priced out.
Now, one of the first questions I ask when I do initial interviews is, have you looked for housing in this district? And not that they're required to live here, but I don't want them to be shocked.
Coming soon, new listings that could make a difference.
Tell me where we are.
Well, we're at Macaulay Place.
By the end of next year, these 11 acres will be transformed into a first-of-its-kind affordable housing community with 120 apartments and 40 cottages geared toward public school employees who qualify based on household income. The idea brought to life by the nonprofit Accelerate Foundation. Jeff Webster serves as executive advisor.
So this is being done nowhere else right now?
Well, as far as we know, no, not the way we're doing it.
The $40 million project paid for by private, state, and local funding. Apartments will be filled first come, first served. Webster says most will rent at about half of market rate. Cottages will be selected via lottery. Participants can either rent for $1,000 a month or pay $1,500 a month for 5 years max. then get up to $50,000 back to use as a down payment on a new home.
To get $50,000 coming back to them that they can take into that next house, yeah, we're pretty excited about it.
Webster says he hopes the project can be a model for other communities. Kelsey Lumberg prays she'll be picked for a cottage.
What would that mean for you?
It would be life-changing for our family.
Hoping someday to buy a house in the city she calls home.
What's this?
George Solis, NBC News, Bentonville, Arkansas.
We've got the latest financial headlines for you now. Ford is moving its electric vehicle Focus to the back seat. CNBC's Silvana Henao joins us with that and other money news. Good morning, Silvana.
Stephen, good morning to you. So Ford is pulling back further on its electric vehicle plans. The Wall Street Journal reports it will let Nissan use part of its flagship battery plant in Kentucky. Now, Ford lost $5 billion on its EV business last year and has projected another $5 billion loss this year as demand has weakened and costs spike. For Nissan, the chance to make batteries here in the U.S. will help reduce exposure to tariffs on imported cars and parts. Google is teaming up with Warby Parker to develop AI-powered smart glasses. They plan to launch a series of products over time, with the first line expected after this year. Now, the glasses will be available in prescription and non-prescription lenses and are intended for all-day wear. The market is getting pretty crowded, with Meta and Ray-Ban selling devices using voice-activated AI. Snap and Amazon have also launched their own smart glasses. And Fortnite is back in Apple's App Store after a nearly 5-year ban. Apple kicked Fortnite off the App Store in 2020 after maker Epic Games added its own in-app payment system, violating Apple's rules. But after a major court ruling forcing Apple not to take fees from purchases made outside of apps, Fortnite is now available to play again on iPhones. It's already the top free download in the App Store, Stephen.
Wow, that was fast.
Yeah.
People were waiting for that one.
Oh, yeah, they really were.
Oh, wow. Silvana, thanks so much.
You got it.
Well, ready or not, the cicadas are coming back. This year, experts say the noisy natural phenomenon, there it is, will make its emergence, with some already starting to come out of the ground now. Billions of bugs are expected to buzz across a large part of the eastern U.S. NBC News correspondent Marissa Parra shows us where it will be the buzziest.
Call it a ground invasion. The cicada buzz is back. Some of the youngest swarming this tree trunk in Ohio. A crowd so thick, they almost look like moving mulch. After years spent buried deep beneath the soil, they're back and ready for the spotlight. But will they take center stage like last year? The eastern part of the U.S. is the only place in the world where you will find cyclical cicadas. While in their nymph stage, the bugs bury underground for up to 17 years at a time, depending on the type. Then, as the season turns and the soil warms to about 64 degrees, they re-emerge, opting for higher ground to molt or shed their skins and spread their wings for the first time. In all, 12 broods of cicadas emerge every 17 years, including this one, brood 14, known to be extra chatty just because of the sheer numbers.
We're talking about not tens or hundreds, but tens of thousands.
Or even more. This group is expected to mainly hit Kentucky and Tennessee, with some making an appearance as far north as Massachusetts. But the batch you'll see this year will be different from last year. That's when billions of cicadas from two different groups came up from underground at the same time in a once-in-a-lifetime event that hasn't happened since 1803. Not to be mistaken with the group that invaded Washington, D.C. in 2021 over the course of 2 years, taking over a tarmac when former President Biden was trying to get on a plane.
Watch out for the cicadas.
Our intrepid anchor, Hallie Jackson herself, tried a bit of cicada scampi.
It's delicious.
Just one of the ways locals in the capital were getting creative as the invasion peaked. And last year, cicadas emerged weeks early in Georgia and Illinois. Some scientists say climate change might be shifting their tiny internal clocks. With warmer seasons lasting longer each year, they're going quicker and emerging earlier.
We're just watching it closely.
Concerning farmers like this one on her Kentucky apple orchard.
It makes us all a little nervous, but again, you know, as long as you're being precautious and watching, then we're going to be able to protect, you know, our fruit here.
And while cyclical cicadas only surface for a few short weeks between May and June, they can reshape the entire food web, even boosting bird populations that feed off them. So whether cicadas end up on your dinner menu, or the birds, love them or hate them, here they come.
Marissa Parra, NBC News.
A lot of sounds with that story. Wow. Well, coming up, a celebrity Muppet making graduation a little greener. Yes, you guessed it. We're talking about Kermit the Frog himself. He's set to give a commencement speech today. We caught up with him as he gets ready to share those words of wisdom. What he told us next on Morning News Now. Finally this hour, Kermit the Frog is set to give his first commencement speech in nearly 30 years at the University of Maryland. Ahead of the big day, the Muppet and cultural icon told our NBC News Now anchor Hallie Jackson that he wants to remind the graduates of their childhood as they prepare for adulthood.
For graduates coast to coast, ceremonies featuring the famous and the funny, the fearless and the froggy.
I'm kind of taking this seriously as a singing, dancing frog can take anything.
Yes, it's a commencement at the University of Maryland featuring Kermit the Frog.
What is your advice going to be to these students who are now stepping out into the real world?
Yeah, well, lots of stuff, Taking the leap into opportunity and making connections in our world today. I mean, those are just a few of the things that I have learned in my own journey to follow in my dreams.
Maryland knows the Muppets. Their creator, Jim Henson, earned his degree here in 1960.
Oh, there's a statue of Jim and me on campus. Have you seen that?
Yeah, I've seen it. Have you?
Yeah. It's really great.
What do you think of it?
Oh, it's really perfect likeness of Jim. A little work on me, but it's pretty good.
It'll be Kermit's first address to graduates in 30 years, and the students now seem ready for their big moment and his.
Welcome back to Maryland.
After all, Kermit knows it's not easy being green or a grown-up, even for those who have grown up with him.
No, I don't think we are ever really all grown up, Maybe we're at our best when we allow ourselves to continue to grow and learn something new every day. And that's kind of like a childlike thing, don't you think? I kind of hope these graduates keep that sophisticated childlike sense of curiosity and imagination and innovation as they travel down their paths.
You still have that, right?
I do, yeah. Do you?
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Because none of us ever really graduates from that sense of wonder and connection, rainbow or otherwise. Hallie Jackson, NBC News, College Park.
A great story to end this hour. Hallie, thank you. That's going to do it for this hour of Morning News Now, but your news continues right now. Good Wednesday morning. I'm Stephen Romo in for Joe in Savannah today. And right now on Morning News Now, picking up the pieces. Severe storms and flooding caused widespread damage to parts of the southern plains and the southeast. And today, the weather threat is forecast to impact people in the mid-Atlantic with rain and strong winds expected. Meteorologist Angie Lassman has your latest forecast coming up. Also this morning, no-fly zone. The FAA says it's now limiting the number of flights in and out of Newark Airport. This comes after weeks of technical outages and staffing issues. The latest on the travel chaos with just days to go before the start of another busy summer travel season. Plus, major changes for how COVID vaccines will be rolled out this fall. The FDA says it's changing the requirements regarding clinical trials. We'll tell you who may have to wait a bit longer to get vaccinated when those new shots are available. And later this hour, Out of This World. The brand new Epic Universe is set to open tomorrow in Orlando, Florida. We'll give you a sneak peek at the newest and largest of all Universal theme parks in the U.S. But we begin this hour with the deadly severe weather outbreak that has spawned dozens of destructive tornadoes in multiple states now. Millions of people across the country are bracing for even more storms today after yet another night of strong storms led to tornadoes like one seen here in Alabama. NBC News correspondent Kathy Park is in hard-hit London, Kentucky, and joins us now with the latest there. And Kathy, we can see it behind you, just so much devastation in that area.
Yeah, Stephen, that's right. It certainly was an anxious night for millions in the path for more severe weather. And here in London, Kentucky, many actually had to evacuate last night to avoid a possible second disaster this week. And this certainly was another blow on this long road to recovery.
Oh, my gosh. This morning, reeling from destruction as the wild weather marches on. Tornadoes and severe storms hitting the south yesterday, pummeling Alabama, and a close call in Tennessee. Highway Patrol leaving this area just as fierce winds ripped the roof of a factory. The wind and rain bringing treacherous driving conditions throughout the area. And here in Kentucky, officials ordering mandatory evacuations.
Prepare to seek shelter.
With fears of new storms after a monster EF4 tornado on Friday left several communities shattered. Shelby Gregory is grateful to be alive. He survived the twister, but his family's longtime home barely standing.
Where do you go from here?
You can replace everything I lost. My family's alive. I'm here, so that's all that matters to me.
In Springfield, Illinois, everyone in the state's capital urged to take shelter with a confirmed tornado on the ground nearby.
Tornado warning on the top floor of the Capitol.
While in St. Louis, where 5 people died following a devastating tornado Friday, the city's mayor emotional over the scope of the disaster.
The damage is so extensive. People have been so gracious to bring me into their homes, and there aren't words.
This morning, amid the immense heartache, an army of volunteers arriving from all across the country, offering strength to communities in one of the worst storm seasons on record.
And once again, this was all done by an EF4 tornado, wind speeds of more than 170 miles per hour. This twister was on the ground for more than 50 miles, and that's why you see the landscape here just literally changed overnight. And it's also worth mentioning that this is a third natural disaster to hit the state of Kentucky this year. Stephen?
Wow. It is difficult to look at and hard to imagine what people are dealing with. Kathy, thanks so much. All right, let's get a closer look at your Morning News Now forecast. Meteorologist Angie Lastman joins us with more. Hey, Angie.
Hi there, Stephen. Good news for folks when we look at the big picture of that severe weather outbreak that we've been dealing with for days and days. It's starting to wind down. We're going to see a whole lot less folks included in it today, and the ingredients not quite as robust as what we've seen in the past couple of days. We do still have a whole lot of rain that's going to impact your travel on the roads, in the air, I imagine, here over the next couple of days if you live anywhere from the mid-Atlantic to the Northeast and out towards the Great Lakes. You can see satellite and radar already busy this morning, stretching from the Midwest all the way to the Mid-Atlantic. We've got still some lightning and thunder out there, but we mainly are dealing with the heavy rain. There's going to be a sliver of locations included in the potential for severe weather as the day goes on today, though. Notice from Memphis to Springfield and, of course, parts of the Carolinas will be included in this, but otherwise, we're mainly looking at the big threat to be that heavy rain over the multiple days, and we'll see periods of the heavy rain impacting those same locations. So flooding is on the table for us. Here's the deal for today. You can see kind of this low pressure system with this new developing low just offshore. This is going to bring us the chilly, windy, rainy conditions for multiple days. So this is today. You can see soggy conditions, Washington, D.C. to Boston, and then sliding up into Maine and stretching down to New Jersey for tomorrow. We'll still see the snow in those higher elevations. We'll still deal with those elevated winds, especially in the higher elevations of New Hampshire. But even still, as we get into Friday, wrapping up our work week, this storm system kind of slides up the coast and still is wrapping around some of that rain, wind, and snow across parts of New England. So it's going to be an unsettled couple of days. And I mentioned that we could see some flash flooding concerns. And here's where we're watching today. Specifically, Pittsburgh to Altoona will have the chance for that slight risk today, but anywhere from Cleveland to Washington, D.C. on the table. A couple of locations under flood alerts already. We've got flood watches for Pittsburgh, Morgantown, and just north of Charlottesville. I wouldn't be surprised if we add some of those on here as the day goes on, and the days go on, I should say, with the potential to have multiple inches of rain through Friday. One other note, we could maybe see some power outages, especially if you live closer to the coast with that nor'easter developing. Winds are going to be quite gusty. Newport, Nantucket into the 40-plus range. We'll see 20s to 30s across parts of the Northeast as well. This potentially impacting travel for us here as we get into tomorrow and beyond. But let's look at Friday. We've got bright skies out west. We've got a couple of storms that we'll have to look for across the middle of the section. It'll be a great day Friday and Saturday across much of the southeast, stretching into the northeast. Temperatures are going to be on the cooler side. We'll ramp those storms up again across the middle of the country. Still staying sunny out west, Stephen, but we keep it unsettled as we roll into Memorial Day. Heavy rain expected across the southeast. Beach day, though, for the Southwest. So we end on a positive note for our friends.
I love to end on a positive note. I was thinking of a positive note. You know what I love about New York?
Tell me.
When it's raining, people just appear and start selling umbrellas for a few bucks on the street. Like
there
magic.
is no shortage.
They just appear. They're just waiting somewhere. Sharing some positivity.
So you forgot your umbrella today, is what you're
Yes,
saying.
I did, but I know I've got a backup plan already.
And many more.
That's right. All right, Angie, thank you.
Got it.
And speaking of the weather, it could be a factor for the millions of Americans planning to travel over Memorial Day weekend, which kicks off the unofficial start to summer. Meanwhile, this morning, the FAA says it's limiting the number of flights in and out of Newark Airport, where there's been major staffing and technical issues for weeks. NBC News correspondent Emily Ikeda is at Newark Liberty Airport with the latest on this. This does not sound like good news, Emily.
Yeah, that's right, Stephen. Good morning to you. You remember United Airlines had already pulled nearly 36 daily flights in and out of Newark as a result of so many of those challenges. But now the FAA is implementing additional limits across airport operations after the sweeping flight delays and cancellations we've been reporting on. This move comes as we enter the Memorial Day weekend with the busiest travel day expected to be tomorrow. Nearly 54,000 flights will be in the air and millions of more Americans hitting the road.
At Newark Liberty Airport, new flight restrictions in place this morning, with the FAA issuing an interim order immediately capping the number of hourly arrivals and departures, down from 77 under normal operations to 56 total. That reduction comes after the FAA met with airlines last week, writing the goal is to cut back on excessive flight delays due to construction, staffing challenges, and recent equipment issues that have plagued the airport. Last month, multiple air traffic controllers who manage part of Newark's airspace took medical leave, citing stress after losing both radars and radios.
I just got told that the approach lost all the radars. 3 of the 4 radar screens went black.
Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy says the FAA has been working to upgrade and replace equipment, with some controllers receiving on-the-job training.
I can't snap my fingers. I'm hopeful that the telecom will be fixed, and if we get more controllers on board, we're back to normal.
Despite the recent issues, the FAA, airlines, and controllers union all maintain that flying is safe.
It's safe to fly because of the hardworking men and women. Again, working 6 days a week, 60 hours in that week. We have to ensure that they're taken care of as well.
All of it as Americans are already crisscrossing the country for Memorial Day. AAA projecting a record 45 million people will travel over the long holiday weekend, the vast majority of them by car. And travel experts say there are still deals to be had for anyone looking at a last-minute trip or staycation.
Nightly rates for hotels this long weekend are under $200 per night, significantly lower than the average for the rest of the summer. If you book about 24 to 48 hours in advance, you can see super low prices on properties that have really awesome amenities, especially for families looking for a pool or some outdoor space.
Back here at Newark Airport, the new limits on flights are expected to last largely until mid-June, when construction should wrap up on that runway. By the way, TSA data reviewed by NBC News shows the average daily number of passengers here at Newark has dropped by as much as 20% compared to this time last year. It appears neighboring LaGuardia Airport in New York City are picking up some of the slack, seeing a 16% increase over the same period of time, Stephen.
Oof. All right, we've been warned. Emily, thank you so much. Well, overnight on Capitol Hill, all eyes on President Trump's massive tax and immigration bill moving through the House. Just hours earlier, the president visited GOP lawmakers to pressure them to get his so-called big, beautiful bill over the line. NBC News senior White House correspondent Garrett Hake has the latest.
You know, the president came to Capitol Hill yesterday to urge Republicans behind closed doors to push his legislative agenda through the House. This morning, they are still pushing. A final hearing on the massive multi-trillion-dollar tax and border bill that began at 1 a.m. continues as we speak. And with all Democrats dead set against the bill, that narrow Republican majority is still squabbling over the best path forward. This morning, the House still battling over President Trump's massive tax and border bill.
This is an historic moment. The American people gave President Trump a mandate.
With all Democrats opposed to the multi-trillion-dollar measure.
We may be here in the dead of night, but you do not need the light of day to smell manure.
House Republicans can only afford to lose 3 votes when the bill comes to the floor. Speaker Mike Johnson, confident.
I believe we're going to land the plane.
The legislation includes major boosts in funding for immigration enforcement and the military. It also extends Trump's 2017 tax cuts, set to expire at the end of this year, and temporarily ends taxes on tips and overtime, two key Trump campaign promises. All of it paid for by cuts to food assistance, clean energy funding, and Medicaid, which Democrats say could lead to millions losing coverage. The president traveling to the Capitol Tuesday to urge Republicans to stop negotiating and pass the bill.
I think we have unbelievable unity. I think we're going to get everything we want.
Yesterday, President Trump also announcing that the bill will include spending for a new military project.
The one big, beautiful bill will include $25 billion for the Golden Dome.
The president moving ahead with plans to build a new missile defense system modeled after Israel's Iron Dome and aimed at protecting the U.S. from a range of threats, including missiles from China or Russia. But the project is costly, Trump estimating $175 billion, and could take years to complete.
You can rest assured there'll be nothing like this.
And on the immigration front, the Trump administration is now being accused of wrongly deporting 2 migrants from Asian nations to the war-torn African country of South Sudan. In a court filing, immigration lawyers say this move violates a court order which had blocked migrants from being deported to third countries that they are not from without having sufficient time to challenge those deportations. Overnight, a judge ordered the White House to maintain custody of any other migrants that they were considering sending to third countries until a hearing can be held today to figure out whether those previous removals were lawful and allowed enough time for due process.
We'll be watching that court battle. Garrett, thanks. Well, on Tuesday, Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. faced more tough questions on Capitol Hill. This time, it was over a proposal for steep budget cuts at his department. It was Kennedy's third congressional hearing appearance in just a week. He's been under fire from lawmakers over major funding cuts his department has already made as part of President Trump's effort to shrink the federal workforce. If passed, the new budget proposal for fiscal year 2026 would slash HHS discretionary funding by more than a quarter. NBC News politics reporter Megan Leibowitz joins us now with more of her reporting on this. So, Megan, seems like things got pretty heated during yesterday's hearing. Walk us through some of the highlights.
That's right. It got pretty contentious at times when Secretary Kennedy was testifying before lawmakers yesterday. Right off the bat, he faced several tough questions from lawmakers from both sides of the aisle, and they expressed their concerns about cuts. Some of the cuts had already happened as part of the Trump administration's efforts to cut down the size and the scale of the federal workforce and certain programs as well. And some of the questions as well were about some of these pretty steep budget cuts, too. So they devolved into arguments a few times. I want to take you to a moment that Senator Patty Murray, a Democrat, had with Secretary Kennedy. And take a listen to what happened when Senator Murray pressed Secretary Kennedy about whose decision it was to withhold certain child care and development-related funds. Take a listen.
I want to point out something, Senator. You've presided here, I think, for 32 years. You presided over the destruction of the health of the American people.
Well,
Our people are now the sickest people in the world.
Seriously.
Because you have not done your job.
Seriously. That is an
What have you done about it? What have you done about the epidemic of chronic disease?
Mr. Secretary,
what have you done about the epidemic of chronic disease?
Seriously, Madam
Secretary,
Chairman.
I would ask you to hold back and let the senator ask the questions.
So a pretty tense moment there, as you heard. And after the subcommittee chair jumped in, Senator Murray was ultimately able to ask her question again about whose decision it was to withdraw those funds. And Secretary Kennedy answered that it was his department's decision to withdraw those funds, Stephen.
And Megan, as you alluded to, we actually saw some Senate Republicans pushing back on these proposals as well. Who was speaking out against these?
Yeah, that's right. There were a few key areas that Republicans had highlighted in some of their concerns that they expressed to the secretary about some of these cuts. One of those areas was about a program that would help low-income people with heating and cooling their homes. That's an area that Senator Collins highlighted as vital. Another area that saw some pushback was about cuts to the National Institute of Occupational Safety and Health. Now, that also hosts some mining research programs. That's an area that Senator Rounds highlighted as well in his questioning of Kennedy, talking about the cuts and the possibility that it would impact both his state and some national security. He said that those cuts could risk the U.S.'s ability to meet certain national security-related goals as they're related to mineral independence and supply chain resilience, Stephen.
That's fascinating to hear. A lot of people care a lot about that. And as we mentioned, this 2026 proposal would cut the discretionary funding by 26%. Do we know which departments and programs are expected to be the hardest hit?
Yeah, 26%. So there are about a dozen programs within HHS that could see some of these steep cuts. But by far the biggest one that would see cuts would be the National Institutes of Health. That would see about an $18 billion cut to its discretionary budget. And that's an area that a few senators brought up as well, highlighting the work that the Institute does. Now, the Institute does a lot of research as it relates to looking at certain healthcare issues and potential treatment. So it's an area that is proving to be an area where there's some pushback from lawmakers as well.
It's a familiar sight now to see Kennedy there taking those questions from these lawmakers. Megan, thanks so much for your reporting. All right, now to the latest on that ongoing manhunt for a group of inmates who escaped from a New Orleans jail last week. Authorities captured a fifth escapee last night, just hours after announcing charges against a jail worker they say helped those 10 men break out. NBC News correspondent Ryan Chandler is following this one for us. He joins us now with the latest. The developments just keep coming on this one, Ryan.
That's right, Stephen. We're now 6 days into this urgent manhunt now. Half of the fugitives have now been captured, but 5 remain on the run. And authorities are continuing their investigation into an inside job, arresting a maintenance worker at this jail who they say helped the inmates accomplish what could be the largest jailbreak in state history. Overnight, authorities capturing a fifth fugitive, 19-year-old Corey Boyd, facing second-degree murder and aggravated battery charges. Boyd, the youngest of the 10 inmates who broke out of this New Orleans jail, an operation officials are calling an inside job. On Tuesday, investigators arresting jail maintenance worker Sterling Williams, who they say helped the inmates escape. According to the arrest affidavit, Williams told investigators one of the inmates threatened to shank him and directed him to turn off the water in a cell. They say Williams complied, and 10 men were able to crawl out of this hole behind a toilet and run free. Williams is now facing 10 counts of principal to simple escape and 1 count of malfeasance in office.
This investigation is still an ongoing investigation, and so there could be more arrests that will follow.
Law enforcement's also sending a message to those who may be helping the men hide.
You can either choose prison, because we are going to catch you and charge you, or you can cooperate.
Now, with half of the escapees recaptured and all expected in custody at a maximum security prison in Angola, Louisiana, an independent investigation is underway. The sheriff who oversees the jail accepting some blame.
There were procedural failures and missed notifications, but there were also intentional wrongdoings.
Among the 5 escapees still at large, a convicted murderer and a man who broke out of a different Louisiana jail in 2019. In that case, he was found within hours just outside of Dallas. While police have captured the other inmates in New Orleans, 6 days into the manhunt, officials say it's possible some of those still on the run may have fled to other cities or states.
We have one mission only, and that is to recapture these inmates, these escapees.
And breaking last night, some more political fallout for that sheriff, announcing she is suspending her campaign for re-election. She's come under a lot of heat for this, Stephen, and she says right now she needs to focus on fixing this jail instead of campaigning. Stephen.
All right, Ryan Chandler, thank you. Well, today it marks day 8 of the sex trafficking and racketeering trial of Sean Diddy Combs. 4 witnesses took the stand yesterday, including Cassie Ventura's mother. Regina Ventura described years of alleged abuse her daughter endured, and she shared photos taken after one incident in 2011. NBC News entertainment correspondent Chloe Malas has the latest from federal court. We do want to warn you, though, some of these images here are graphic.
These jarring images of Cassie Ventura covered in bruises shown in court. Her mother, Regina Ventura, testifying she took the pictures when her daughter was home for Christmas in 2011, quote, to make sure we memorialized the injuries. Regina Ventura also said her daughter's former boyfriend, Sean Diddy Combs, demanded $20,000 because Cassie started dating musician Kid Cudi. Ventura said she and her husband used their home equity line of credit to pay Combs. She said he returned the money a few days later. Ventura's testimony comes after her daughter took the stand for more than 20 hours, testifying that Combs subjected her to years of abuse and forced her to participate in drug-fueled sex parties known as freak-offs. Combs is charged with 5 counts, including sex trafficking and racketeering. He has denied all wrongdoing. Prosecutors have also shown the jury these pictures that they say show Combs' hotel room the night he was arrested, including bottles of baby oil and drugs. His former personal assistant, David James, painting a picture of what it was like to work for the music mogul, testifying about an incident in 2008 when he went with Combs to try to confront rival record label founder Suge Knight. James said Combs had 3 guns on his lap, and while they never found Knight, James said he, quote, realized my life was in danger and ultimately quit.
Our thanks to Chloe Malas for that report. Today, the jury is expected to hear from a forensic psychologist, followed by musician Kid Cudi, who previously dated Cassie and claims that Sean Combs blew up his car. We'll have more on that. Much more to come here this morning on Morning News Now. It's expected to be an epic debut tomorrow for Universal's newest park. We'll take you there later in this hour. But up first, Pope Leo XIV meets the public. The pontiff holding his first general audience, his message to parishioners coming up. We're back now with developing news out of Mexico's capital, the country's worst attack on public officials in recent years. NBC News reporter Matt Bodner joins us now from London with that and other international headlines. Good morning, Matt.
Stephen, good morning. 2 officials from the Mexico City mayor's office were shot dead yesterday, the worst attack against public officials in the capital in recent years. The officials were the mayor's secretary and one of her advisors. Mayor Clara Bugada told reporters that she had worked with both officials for years. She vowed to continue fighting against crime. The motives behind the killing are under investigation still, but some experts say this has the hallmarks of an organized crime hit. Moving along now to Australia, record-setting floods in the state of New South Wales have cut off almost 50,000 people and 24,000 homes from the rest of the country. Local scientists say this is a once-in-a-500-year event. Throughout New South Wales, 109 flood warnings have been issued, 19 at the emergency level, with some residents in areas north up the coast from Sydney have been asked to evacuate. Many, however, are trapped where they are. And we'll wrap up this hour in Paris. Police have finally found the bust of Doors frontman Jim Morrison, who was stolen off his Paris tombstone 37 years ago. The statue was recovered by the Financial and Anti-Corruption Brigade. It's a branch of the Paris prosecutor's office. They said in a statement, this one was for the fans. Morrison's gravesite is a major attraction for rock and roll fans. Crowds, sometimes numbering in the thousands, gather there every year on the anniversary of his death. That would be July 3rd. On the 20th anniversary of his death, police had to disperse a gathering with tear gas after they turned unruly. By the 30th anniversary, alcohol and music had been banned from the site entirely. Back to you, Stephen.
Wow, 37 years later. All right, Matt, thank you. Well, Pope Leo XIV is making another major milestone of his papacy. The first American pope held his first general audience in St. Peter's Square this morning, where he greeted crowds with messages of gratitude. The pontiff also spoke out about the situation in Gaza as Israel continues its war there. NBC News international correspondent Molly Hunter is live in London with more on this. Molly, good morning.
Stephen, good morning. That's right. A big morning in Vatican City. Pretty striking to hear a pope out there in St. Peter's Square speaking in English. He did not do that during his installation mass last weekend. And you could hear the roar of the crowd when he spoke, and specifically, Stephen, when he welcomed those from English-speaking countries. Take a look.
With American flags flying in St. Peter's Square this morning, Pope Leo XIV greeted the crowds in his Pope-mobile. In the open-air vehicle, he paid special attention to the youngest members of the crowd, too, blessing babies as he passed. It's the first general audience, and the first American pope started speaking in Italian
Cari fratelli e sorelle.
And then switched to English.
Dear brothers and sisters, I am happy to be with you in this, the first general audience of my pontificate.
The heaving square applauded,
I'm happy to welcome the English-speaking pilgrims and visitors,
especially those from his home country.
And the United States.
Pope Leo appealed for the entry of humanitarian aid into Gaza. Israel's been blocking aid trucks from entering the territory. Leo added the heartbreaking price is paid by children, elderly, and the sick. Today's general audience follows Leo's installation mass on Sunday. 200,000 people, the curious, the faithful, and official delegations from more than 130 countries joined Pope Leo XIV to usher in the official start of his pontificate. Vice President J.D. Vance in the front row, along with Second Lady Usha Vance. Meeting with Pope Leo on Monday, the VP gifting the Chicago native a personalized Bears jersey and presenting a letter from President Trump inviting the Pope to visit the U.S.
Now, no commitment yet on a U.S. visit for Pope Leo. Our Lester Holt, Stephen, actually asked him about this last week in Rome, but he has said he wants to play a role in ceasefire talks between Russia and Ukraine, even offering up the Vatican as a location for talks. So we are watching that closely. Stephen?
We know you'll keep us updated. Molly, thank you. Well, coming up, changes are in the works for how COVID vaccines will be rolled out in the future. Up next, we'll tell you what the FDA is planning to do this fall and who will be impacted. You're watching Morning News Now. We're back now with a significant shift in the nation's COVID-19 vaccine strategy. In an article published yesterday in the New England Journal of Medicine, the FDA said the COVID booster shots may not be available in this fall for most healthy adults and children. That's due to new requirements for clinical trials. The agency announced that any new COVID vaccine will need to go through placebo-controlled clinical trials before getting approved. That's a process expected to take around 6 months. The guidance does not impact plans for older adults and others at high risk who are still expected to receive boosters this fall. NBC News medical contributor Dr. Kavita Patel joins me now for more on this. Dr. Patel, good morning to you. So what does this mean for people who are not considered high risk for severe illness?
Yeah, this means that if you're 6 months to 64 years of age and considered otherwise healthy, that you might not have access to COVID vaccines this fall. It's very unlikely that we'll be able to see manufacturers turn around these clinical trial requirements, which are pretty cumbersome, require involving trials with people who have been infected. And it's just it's infeasible to do that in time for a fall rollout as expected.
Tell us about these newly required clinical trials, Dr. Patel. How are they different from the current process for these booster shots?
Right. So the current process and what we've been accustomed to over the last several years, and just keep in mind that the initial trials that were done for the COVID vaccines were kind of the gold standard, because that's something we've been talking a lot about is kind of, have there even been these gold standard trials done on these vaccines? They have been. Updates to the vaccines have then become kind of conditionally approved based on evidence that the updates to the vaccines meet certain standards. So in other words, the updates are able to be rolled out on a semi-annual, annual basis, which if you recall, that's really what we were trying to do, was get these boosters out to reflect the most accurate version of the virus that was out there. So that was kind of traditionally how the FDA looked at the data. They looked at the data for the update on a population, but didn't require this kind of double blind. And I think this gets to the ethics of the issue. When you have a trial that's double blinded, that means half of the group is going to receive the real vaccine, half are going to get shots that are saline that do not have the vaccine in the arm. And I think that we all know that there are those of us who feel that that would be unethical, even for previously infected individuals. What really comes to heart with the difference in the trials is that the trials now put the requirement to do these double-blinded trials and to include individuals who have been previously infected, because the notion is that if you've had immunity from an infection several years ago, you might not need the vaccine at all if you're healthy and young otherwise. So it's a new requirement, something that's unprecedented, and candidly, I've never seen guidance like this from the FDA issued in a 2-page New England Journal article, so that in and of itself is unusual.
Fascinating to hear your insights on that. And according to that report you just mentioned, the FDA commissioner and the vaccine chief saying that only about a quarter of Americans get the updated COVID booster shot each year anyway, and that's not necessary to update the vaccine like we do the flu shot annually. What do you make of that, and how could this affect the health of people this fall and winter?
Yeah, there have been two kind of statements that have been made about the vaccines. The point you just made that there's a low vaccine uptake, I would actually attribute a lot of that, candidly, to misinformation and just a lot of confusion about who should get the vaccine. I find that when I take care of patients and I just explain to them, here's why I'm vaccinating my family, here are the pros and cons to doing it for yours, it usually comes down to, do you really want to miss school, work, important milestones because you might have an upcoming event, whether it's flu, COVID, RSV, any of the numbers of vaccines we have, and almost everybody says no. But I think you see low uptake across the board, including, by the way, with, measles vaccines. We're starting to see denial there. So I don't know if that's the reason to put stricter requirements. I would make the argument we need to actually increase vaccine uptake. The second point about not doing this the way we do the flu, I think that's just really false, because to me, COVID and RSV and the flu, all these respiratory viruses that we've been talking about, they're resulting in hospitalizations, deaths, even amongst healthy individuals. So this isn't something that's just limited to older, sick individuals. Not to mention the way immunity works this way with any vaccine, is the more of us in the community that have it, the more of a protective armor we can give to those who desperately need it. So I think this sends a bit of confusion to the public, and it's unfortunately going to result in decreased access.
That's very interesting. Dr. Patel, while we have you here, I did want to ask you some other medical news, this one involving former President Biden. His team says he was just diagnosed with prostate cancer, and his last screening was more than a decade ago in 2014. So how unusual is it for someone to go that long without this PSA test? What are the risks of missing one for that long?
Right. So two things. When he stopped having them at about over 10 years ago, he was still at the age where we would cut off screening. So right now, the United States Preventative Services Task Force, which is kind of the task force that issues most of the guidelines around cancer screenings, they recommend stopping the PSA screening for almost all individuals at the age of 70. Now, above the age of 70, it's a risk-benefit analysis. We usually say that it's a risk of maybe having an unnecessary procedure, because if you get the PSA over the age of 70, it could result in a biopsy. The benefit is for an individual that is likely to live more than 10 years. That's where we come into an issue. At the time, Biden was not president in 2014. Fast forward to when he was elected president and went through a number of screenings, including likely extensive blood work and cancer screenings for other diseases. It is a bit unusual that this did not show up. And we also do know from a 2019 physical that he did have evidence of benign prostatic hyperplasia, or an enlarged prostate. So that brings up the question of, was that diagnosis just made based on symptoms, a manual exam, a digital exam, or how was that diagnosis made? So it does leave some questions in my mind.
More questions there, and just a difficult fight he's up against now, certainly thinking about him. Dr. Patel, thank you so much. Well, with summer just around the corner and Memorial Day weekend just days away now, sunscreen season is officially here. But a new report is raising questions about which products are actually safe and effective, and whether Americans really know what they're putting on their skin. NBC News correspondent Ann Thompson joins us now with this one. So many people talking about this one, Ann.
Well, Stephen, and it's a good time to do it, because with Memorial Day weekend this weekend, it is time to start thinking about protecting yourself from the sun's dangerous UV rays. But with thousands of sunscreen products on the market, which is best for you and your family? Well, a new report might make you rethink what you add to your cart.
With summer around the corner, it's time to get serious about sunscreen.
25? You don't have anything higher? What do you have, mercury?
But before you slather on the sunblock, you may want to consider what's in it. Environmental Working Group's latest report found that out of more than 2,200 SPF products tested, only about a quarter were deemed safe and effective options. But EWG's standards are not the same as the FDA.
The FDA is looking at the specific filters that we have on the market and doing rigorous large-scale studies to determine if the ingredients are unsafe, not if they're potentially unsafe. What the EWG is looking at, anything that is potentially unsafe.
In 2019, the FDA determined that several active ingredients in sunscreens are absorbed through the skin, but the results did not indicate people should refrain from the use of sunscreen. Progress to study these ingredients further has stalled, and social media videos like these
stop wearing sunscreen because it's terrible for your skin.
Worry experts. The American Academy of Dermatology warns unprotected exposure to ultraviolet rays is a leading cause of skin cancer, and sunscreen remains a vital part of skin cancer prevention. But you don't have to go to extremes. Experts say to keep it simple when choosing a sunscreen, look for products that are broad spectrum, protecting against UVA and UVB rays. Have an SPF of 30 or above. That's also water resistant. And if you're worried about what's in chemical sunscreens, the EWG and FDA agree that mineral sunscreens with zinc oxide or titanium dioxide are safe for people and the planet. But sunscreen is not enough. Also wear sun protective clothing, including hats and sunglasses, so you can still have summer fun in the sun.
My patients always say, what sunscreen do you like? I say, I love the sunscreen you'll use.
And that is the key. Experts also say apply sunblock every day and every 2 hours when you're outside. And start with a cream or a lotion so you get full coverage. Then use sprays or sticks for additional applications. Use about a golf ball-sized amount of sunscreen on your body. Most of us don't use enough. And when applying it to children, which is really difficult, they say stick to mineral sunscreens because they don't absorb into the skin. They just reflect the sun. That's why they're white and they sort of stick on your skin.
Yeah, a lot of parents go for that option. Feels much safer, seems much safer. I just think about that golf ball size amount. I am not using enough, Ann. Got to get some.
I never do. I use it every day, but I don't use that much.
It seems like
got to work on it.
That's true. All right, Ann, thanks so much. Well, coming up, the unofficial start of summer around the corner and another busy travel season just days away. When we come back, we'll share some last-minute travel tips to make your next trip hassle-free. Stick around. Welcome back. The countdown to Memorial Day weekend is on, and experts say the holiday is on track to set a new travel record. More than 45 million Americans are expected to make a trip at least 50 miles from home this year, with some of the biggest cities in the U.S. as their destinations. Vice President of PR at Expedia Group, Melanie Fish, is here with more tips on anyone who may be heading to the airport. So, Melanie, good morning to you. I'm fascinated by this, the popular destinations Expedia is seeing among travelers this holiday weekend. What can you tell us?
No big surprises on the most popular destinations: LA, New York, Orlando, Vegas, Miami. Trending, we are seeing people starting to head out to the Hamptons and to some of these beautiful outdoor destinations like the mountains.
I love that. The Blue Ridge Mountains, you can't go wrong with that. Well, we are less than 48 hours away now from the start of this busy weekend. Do you have any advice for people who may be procrastinated and have not booked travel yet?
This is Wednesday. If you have not booked, you really are a procrastinator. So normally my advice would be, maybe you should just stay home. But that is not my advice this year, because I was checking flight deals just this morning, and I was surprised to see that you can get round-trip flights for this weekend as far as Florence or London for really reasonable costs, around $600. Now, more people are driving than flying for Memorial Day weekend, and more people are flying than flew last year. So if you haven't booked yet, there's still a lot of opportunities, but you're going to have to be flexible.
Yeah, it's always good to be flexible, especially as a procrastinator. Do you have any time-saving tips for anyone trying to make their way through these busy airports this weekend?
It's going to be crowded. It is going to take you a long time. But let's pack everything in a carry-on. Don't check your baggage. If you can leave today, tomorrow, instead of Friday, that's a good idea. Go ahead and check in before you get to the airport. Have your boarding pass on your phone so you can get through security. And can we all agree, this is probably not your first rodeo at TSA. This is going to be the weekend where we take everything out of our pockets before we get to the front of the line. We make sure there's no water bottle stuck in our carry-on. We're going to keep it moving.
Yeah, you got to keep it moving. Those water bottles, they can bite you.
They get you.
They do. Melanie Fish, thanks so much for your insights. We appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
All right, now for your money headlines. The Klarna users are shopping now, but taking their sweet time making payments, if at all. CNBC's Silvana now joins us with that and more news. Good morning, Silvana.
Stephen, good morning. Yeah, users of buy now, pay later giant Klarna may be struggling to pay back the installment loans they've taken out. The company reporting its net loss doubled in the latest quarter, even as user growth and revenue rose. Consumer credit losses jumping 17%, reflecting similar trends across the industry and stretched household finances. A recent survey by LendingTree found 41% of users say they paid late within the last year. Meanwhile, TikTok has told staff in its shop business to work from home today as possible layoffs are looming. Bloomberg reports the job cuts follow leadership changes last month. TikTok is considering ways to create a more efficient operating model. It has more than 1,000 people working near Seattle with additional offices in New York, Texas, and California. TikTok and parent company ByteDance haven't commented. And Elon Musk says Tesla is on track to start testing its robo-taxi service in Austin by the end of June. Musk telling CNBC Tesla will roll out about 10 self-driving cars in some parts of the city and ramp up to about 1,000 within a few months. A successful trial is key, as Musk has shifted Tesla's focus from building a more affordable EV to launching the robo-taxi service and Optimus humanoid robots. Musk also telling CNBC he will reduce his work for President Trump and focus more on Tesla, Stephen.
I don't know. I like talking to Uber drivers. I'm not sure about that one. Savannah.
Yeah, right. I liked the human interaction.
Yeah, it's not. I'll miss it. Savannah, thanks so much for those updates. Well, coming up, at Universal's newest park set to open to the public tomorrow. When we come back, we'll give you a tour of the brand new Epic Universe. We're back now with a look at something epic coming from our parent company, NBC Universal. The newest and largest of all Universal parks, Epic Universe, opens tomorrow in Orlando, Florida. It has more than 50 rides and attractions spread across 5 separate themed lands, ranging from Super Nintendo World to a brand new chapter in the wizarding world of Harry Potter called the Ministry of Magic. This morning, Today anchor Savannah Guthrie has an in-depth look at all 5 lands and what makes them truly epic.
Beyond this gate, find gardens green and epic worlds to fill your dreams. Those are the words greeting visitors at the entrance to Universal Epic Universe, inviting you on a journey unlike any other. The 750-acre property has more than 50 new attractions, and it's the first major U.S. theme park to open in 25 years. Emphasis on park, because inside Epic Universe is a land of lush greenery and magical dancing fountains. Celestial Park is your first stop, the central hub, which is also home to the new Helios Grand Hotel. Think of it as a world between worlds as you decide where to travel first through one of 4 massive portals. Prep your wands for a visit to the wizarding world of Harry Potter, Ministry of Magic, the latest addition to Universal's stunning wizarding worlds.
This is like another level.
Explore 1920s Paris, see some fantastic beasts, and experience Harry Potter and the Battle at the Ministry, a new ride that pushes theme park technology to the next level.
There are some moments where your jaw will be on the floor. Mine was.
Then dig down for some courage as you head to Dark Universe, a world where legendary monsters roam and Dr. Frankenstein's experiments lurk around every terrifying corner. This land is not for the faint of heart. If you manage to escape Dark Universe, maybe the vivid sights and sounds of Super Nintendo World will brighten your day.
This is so freaking cute!
The Mushroom Kingdom comes to life as you join Mario, Luigi, Peach, and more for interactive rides and the ultimate photo ops. And last but not least, take to the sky at the Isle of Berk from How to Train Your Dragon. You'll soar on Hiccup's Wing Gliders, a coaster that whips you around Berk. And make sure to try the viral mac and cheese cone, maybe after the ride.
And it's so good. The sauce is so good.
And you'll believe dragons are real when you come face to face with Toothless. 5 immersive worlds that will thrill and chill you
Frankenstein!
As you embark on one unforgettable new adventure.
And now let's bring in Matt Eisman. You may know him from the host of American Ninja Warrior on NBC. He joins us now with his take of the park. Exciting stuff, Matt. Good morning to you. We've seen the pictures. Give us a sense. What is this park really all about?
Steve, it's massive. So I'm here in the Centennial Garden. You can see the waterfall behind me. There's the hotel. That's where we're staying. You got it. Actually, the Today Show is filming right here, right now. They're going over there. We've got the Isle of Burke. I'm so excited to go see it. I just got in here. The park opens to the public tomorrow. You can see we've got a blue carpet. We're all going to be walking that. Everyone from NBC who got the special invite. The cast of How to Train Your Dragons right over there. I saw Gerard Butler. I asked him if he needed another Viking. He said no, but I stand ready to jump in if they need it, Steve.
Wow, that's incredible. Gerard Butler just right there. So you mentioned you just got in. Are you a roller coaster person? What rides are on your list to check out?
Junkie. I got to say, there's a dueling roller coaster over in the Isle of Paris that I'm looking at that looks pretty sweet. I'm checking that out. I've heard in Harry Potter. Now, I'm a huge Harry Potter guy. I'm a Hufflepuff, obviously. And I'm really excited for visiting 1920s Paris and the Fantastic Beasts and seeing that ride. And, of course, growing up on Nintendo, I've heard the Donkey Kong ride is insane. So those are my highlights that I'm looking forward to. But my plan is to hit as much as possible today until I have that macaroni and cheese cone and then lose it all over the floor.
I was going to ask you about the food. Yeah, you got to get ready when you go on a roller coaster. Some of that food likes to make a reappearance. We have to be ready for that, too.
Well, you really do have to balance. You really do have to balance it when you're going on this many rides. But I will say the food looks insane. We were already greeted with this chocolate chip cookie that I think was made with dragon scales. I'm not sure what it was, but it was insane. Probably about 2,700 calories. So I'm full for the day, but it's been insane. I'm so excited to get down here. And I mean, this park unto itself is worth it. But when you consider they still got Islands of Adventure and Volcano Bay and the Universal Studios itself, this is the spot to be in Orlando. But I will say, bring your sunscreen, bring a lot of water.
Good advice. All right, Matt, thanks. American Ninja Warrior, by the way, season 17 premieres Monday, June 2nd at 8 p.m. on NBC and streams the next day on Peacock. And that's going to do it for this hour of Morning News Now. But your news continues right now.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.